So what are we thinking? What are we looking at here tonight? A 3-1 series lead for the Oklahoma City Thunder? Is it going to be a good game? Are they going to end up running this Timberwolves team out the gym again? Is that what's going to happen tonight? I hope not. I hope we get a good game, but hard to have faith in a team that's led by a young, doesn't seem like he's ready yet, Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. And we know all about Julius Randle over here as Knicks fans. They got to find a way to stop Shea. Obviously, easier said than done. And Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle both have to be able to perform tonight because everybody else performed the other night. Alexander Walker, phenomenal game. Steven Chinzo did his thing. McDaniels was hooping. And yet, Naj Reid came off the bench, hooping. And yet, the two guys who you need to lead you didn't lead you the way they need to lead you. Anthony Edwards was all right. He was all right. He had a pretty decent game. He had a pretty good game overall. But good ain't going to get you to NBA Finals. You got to be great. And you got to be great every night. If you want to be the guy, you got to go out there and be the guy. Mike David Oz Jr., Mike Mode was popping. Verified, just as his dad. Let's get to it. David said, I'd bring Mitch off the bench and start Deuce tomorrow. It's just, I think that would work to go to that down 3-1 in a series when it's literally the exact lineup change we've asked all year would be crazy, but it would also just imply that Tom Thibodeau, it would be an implication, an admission that Tom Thibodeau messed up all season long by never going to that lineup. And he would not do that because he's stubborn and he knows that if he does do that, it would be an admission to the people who are the decision makers on whether or not he keeps his job as to, I may have messed up all year long, not going to Deuce McBride a little bit more, huh, guys? How about in the most pivotal game of the year, I finally go to it? That starting lineup has not started all year. It has not started all year, unless I'm mistaken. Unless Josh Hart missed a game or two and then Deuce got into the starting lineup, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case because obviously we know Josh missed a couple of games this season with jumper's knee and whatnot, but Mike Moat said, bro, we've been asking for Deuce to start all season. I'd honestly be annoyed if Tibbs finally did it now. I would feel justified. I'd feel like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. So everybody was right all along, and that was a viable lineup that you could actually go to. But instead of trying it through the 82-game regular season, you just buried your head in the sand and decided, actually, I'm right, guys. Actually, you're all dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to continue to start Josh Hart. Like, cool, man. Cool. You know, the issue with Tom Thibodeau is he still believes that when you look at your roster sheet and you see that Deuce McBride measures at whatever he measures at 6'2", and Landry Shamet measures at 6'4", that Shamet is a better option defensively because he's got 2 inches of height on Deuce McBride, right? Because if you listen to his pregame presser, and it was one of the most absurd one of the most absurd justifications I've ever heard for a coach to give, when he said, when he was asked, hey, at the end of the game when Josh Hart fouled out, you put in Landry Shamet instead of Deuce McBride. What was your thought process there? And he said, I just felt like we needed size out there. I'm like, size? Like, DeLon Wright is bigger than Landry Shamet. Size? You're talking about size. In 2025, you're talking about 2 inches of height. Talking about size in the NBA. Like, just pathetic rationale there. That's a pathetic rationale. I don't have to start the rant early because I'm sure we'll get to it. I'm sure we'll get a bunch of questions and a bunch of comments like that. David said, got to do it, JB's killing us on defense. They're searching him out. Yeah, I mean, literally any adjustment defensively to take Bridges off of Halliburton, as he's applied zero pressure all series long, would probably help the defense when he goes to the double drag screen involving Brunson and Towns. Literally any defensive adjustment there would be better than just, again, sticking your head in the sand and pretending as if everything's going to work itself out, right? There was a clip I saw today during the game where Tibbs calls a timeout. I believe it's in the fourth quarter. Maybe it's in the second half. Tibbs calls a timeout, and the guys come to the bench, and they're huffing and puffing, and they're breathing hard, and they're dripping in sweat. They're hustling. They're trying to keep up with this Pacers, with the Pacers' speed and their pace, and they're in the bench, and you can see in the bench, like everybody's like trying to catch their breath, and they're dripping sweat. And Tibbs calls a timeout, and he comes over, and he's like, hey, we have to sprint back harder, guys. Stop all the jogging. Like they're getting to the basket because they're just running harder than you. And it's like, maybe if you got some fresh legs out there, man. Maybe if you made a substitution. You know who's ready to go and can sprint back on defense? Deuce McBride. DeLon Wright. Landry Shamet. Hell, Mitchell Robinson played 0 fourth quarter minutes. Karl Anthony Towns was out there playing on one leg. Biggest game of the year. And that was the performance the coach put out there. Right? We could talk all we want about Daniel Berry Sports. What's up, Daniel? We could talk all we want about how, Brunson needs to play better, and he does. And Towns needs to play better, and sure, he does. And Bridges needs to play better because he was bad. And Josh Hart needs to play better because he was by far the worst player on the court for either side last night. It was horrendous to watch. He played 36 minutes. Great coaching, Tibbs. We could say all of that. We could talk about how the players need to improve. But they don't come close to beating this Pacers team with the way Tom Thibodeau has coached this series. Right? They are in these games, partly, it feels like most of the time, in spite of the decisions that Tom Thibodeau is making. They are in these games because of their talent. It feels like a lot of these times. And Tibbs isn't so, like, I mentioned this last night. He's so good at so many things as a head coach. And the one thing he's truly horrendous at are his substitution patterns. And it's been that way his whole career. But he has absolutely no feel for who to leave on the court, who to pull out, who to stick with, when to go defense, when to go offense, when to slow it down, when I should go with this lineup versus that lineup, when to actually use certain lineups. Right? When to actually use certain lineups. When should I go to the Brunson, McBride, Anunoby, Hart, and Robinson lineup? A mostly defensive lineup with JB as the advantage creator who could play off of Deuce McBride, Anunoby's, and who was the other guy named? Deuce McBride, Anunoby, and either Josh Hart or Mikal Bridges or Landry Shamet spacing. Right? As the advantage creator. When do I go to that lineup? Oh, never? I'm never going to go to that lineup? That just can't happen in this series. You know? Big Rud. What's up, Big Rud? Vertify said, I would actually bench Brunson and save him some for the fourth quarter and give him more chances with Josh Hart as a second unit. I don't really want Brunson in there with Josh Hart, though. You know? Josh Hart, yeah, Brunson and Josh Hart can work. We've seen that work. But I want mostly Brunson with bench units or Towns with bench units. One of those guys with bench units, and we don't get that. We get the starting five out there with the starting five, and then we get the starting five out there with Josh Hart in for Robinson, and then we get all bench units with either Anunoby or Bridges. And it's horrendous every time. McDaniels gets his own offensive rebound off a missed three. Gobert with the offensive rebound, leans in, gets it knocked out of his hands, kicks it out. Randall, an open three to start the game, and he gets it to go. Justice's dad. What's up, Justice's dad? What you doing? What you up to, brother? What you up to? J-Dub's going to bring it down. We're offense starting. Minnesota opens it up with a three. Holmgren has it up top. Dancing with it. Picks his handle up. He's got nowhere to get it to. Randall knocks it out of his hands. He picks it back up. Dribbling it down. Stop. Fall away over Randall. Excellent defense. He can't get it to go. Fight for a loose ball. And Gobert fouls Hartenstein. Justice Dad said napping. Hey, man. I ain't napping tomorrow. It didn't work. It didn't work a second time in a row. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. SGA has it up top. Driving it down, kicks it out. J-Dub. It was a closeout game, and SGA's been phenomenal in closeout games. Let's see how they perform tonight. They are at home, so they got the advantage. J-Dub's got to chuck it up with the shot clock winding down. It's an air ball. Excellent defense from Minnesota to start the game on their first defensive possession. Excellent. So Minnesota will bring it down now, and Randall looks locked in, and a locked-in Randall is a dangerous man. The issue is with him is he's not always locked in. But a locked-in Randall, and he looks locked in here tonight, is a dangerous man. Get it over to McDaniels. McDaniels in the mid-range. Pump fake. Steps through. High with the left hook. Airballs it. Good defense from Holmgren. Here comes SGA. Crossover to his right. Snaking it back to his left. Gobert and drop. Waits for Edwards to catch back up. And they got Edwards on SGA to start it. Unless I'm mistaken and it's just a mismatch. But J-Dub misses a floater. Gobert with the rebound. Here comes Edwards. Edwards is going to bring it down. Put his head down. Crosses past Lou Dort, but picks up the foul. Edwards gets it in to Mike Conley. Conley coming to is right off the Edwards screen. Dancing with it as Dort switches onto him. Gets it over to Edwards in the high post, being guarded by SGA. Edwards backing him down. Fall away, inside pass to Gobert. Mishandles it, gets it back. And they call a foul on Holmgren on the pass attempt. With 0.3 on the shot clock. He was not going to get that off in time. Jameel S. What's up, Jameel? The ref's already screwing the Thunder? It's too early to have a take on that, brother. Come on, man. Too early to have a take on the officials. McDaniel, step back, mid-range jumper over Holmgren. Can't get it to go. Long rebound. SGA grabs it. SGA on the left wing attacking. Blowing past Randall in the middle of the lane. Kicks it over to Holmgren. Right corner three over McDaniels, and he splashes it. Not a good sign if you're a Timberwolves fan. Holmgren gets the three-point shot to go down. Edwards bringing it down. Over to Conley. Conley cross-court to McDaniels. McDaniels being very aggressive to start. Kicks it over to Randall. Randall right corner three. High arcing. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. SGA ends up with it after Hartenstein knocked it in the air. Hit ahead to Holmgren. Got an open lane to the basket, and he throws it down. Conley has it on the left wing. Coming to his right off the Gobert screen. Middle of the lane, righty floater. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. And after the made three from Randall, Minnesota's coming away with a whole lot of nothing. They're 1 for 7 from the field so far. SGA driving it down, throws a lob to Hartenstein, and he gets the layup to go. Instead of a dunk, laid it up and in off the lob. And I've been giving 2 points to the wrong side this whole time. It is 7-3. Conley steps back for a three. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. And this is not looking great for Minnesota. I'd look to get a sub in early here. Got to get some offense out there. SGA dancing with it. Fall away jumper over Gobert. Gobert with a block. Gobert loses the handle, but he picks it back up. Here comes Randall. Randall putting his head down, attacking to the basket. Gets blocked by Hartenstein. Was met by Chet Holmgren as well. J-Dub bringing it down. Gets fouled by Conley. Just as Dad said, anyone else update on the iPhone? YouTube looks so different. So does email. Not for me. Not for me. I haven't done anything. Mike said Wolves playing like they want it. Sure, but you got to get some baskets too. They look a little locked in. They look like they're playing hard and whatnot, but you You got to get some of these shots to go down, man. Their offensive process hasn't been the greatest. SGA on the right wing pump fakes, drives it in on McDaniels, scoops up under him, and lays it up and in. 9-3. It's a 6-point game early. Get it over to Randall on the left wing. Up top to Gobert. Gobert gets it out to Edwards. Edwards cross court to Randall, inside to Gobert. Extra pass McDaniels. Excellent ball movement. McDaniels an open three. They continue to misfire. That was excellent offensive process right there. They got a wide open corner three from McDaniels. Got to knock that one down, man. SGA down the lane, kicks it out to a wide open Holmgren. He can't get that one to go. Good box out from Randall. Gobert grabs the rebound. Conley hands it off to Randall. Randall's going to drive it in. Kicks it out. McDaniel, same spot, same shot, same result with a miss. Here comes SGA. Crossing over to his right, middle of the lane in transition. Throws another lob. This time to Holmgren. Two-handed slam. And just like that, it's 11-3. 11-3. Crazy what happens when you don't make your shots. They've generated really good looks. They're not hitting nothing. Not hitting anything. Susan, what's up, Susan? If you're in Minnesota, you got to get some offense in there. You got to get some offense in there. Whoops. Let's open up this box score. They're like, what, 1 for 10 now? McDaniels has not made a shot, and the ball continuously finds him. I wonder why the ball is continuously finding him. He said they're not trying very hard. Minnesota, I mean, they're trying hard. They just can't buy basket. They just can't buy basket. McDaniel starts the game off 0 for 6. Wide open looks. Multiple. Wide open. All three of his threes, wide open threes. 0 for 6. Sharon McLean, what's up, Sharon? Edwards has yet to take a shot. Randall's 1 for 3. Like, this can't continue to happen, man. This can't continue to happen. The ball's barely touched his hands. Can't continue to happen. You're supposed to be the guy, man. Where are you? Your team's looking for offense. McDaniels has taken 6 shots so far. Like, where are you, man? Where are you? Step up. You want to be the guy? You want to be the guy? Go get that ball. Go be the guy, man. Right, you look on the other end. SGA's only taken 2 shots. He's got 4 assists already, though. Ball is in his hands, and he's dictating what's going on the court for his team. If you're the star of your team, you got to dictate what's going on. Because that's at SGA MVP of the series? Yeah, it's not particularly close either. Nobody even has a case against him. I was wondering, what the hell are these crowns next to your guys' name? I was like, what is this? But I guess there's like a leaderboard system now on YouTube. They just decided to add that in. Had no idea. Cool. Cool. It says, what's the leaderboard? This is, you can't see it, but my face is in the way. I'll just read it to you. I'll tell you right now what it does. It says, how do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points or XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chat messages, send super chats, and super stickers. Susan is in the lead. Susan's kicking you butts. K. Hazy second. Justice's dad is third. David is fourth. I just thought I'd let y'all know. Veridify, you're in sixth. I just thought I'd let y'all know that. And I can't show you the game. I wish I could. And we came out. Who scored? Who scored that? Oh, that was Edwards. Edwards got to the basket. Exactly what we were calling for. J-Dub, a foul line jumper. Can't get it to go. McDaniels ends up with it. Here we go. Now, let's hope Minnesota can wake up a little bit here. Edwards, go get the ball, brother. Go get the ball. They get it over to Randall. All right, Randall, do something with it. Caruso jumps out, takes it right out of his hands. Randall, brother Randall. My man, Randall. My guy. What are we doing here? 6 minutes to go. We're halfway through this first quarter already. Says that said iPhone upgraded yesterday, so did YouTube. Yeah, I guess YouTube upgraded. I don't know where. I don't know when that happened. Edwards goes all the way to the basket with a nice Euro step layup. SGA. Baseline pull-up jumper, can't get it to go. Edwards with the rebound. Edwards up top, dancing with it. Step back, pull-up three over Caruso. Airballs it. Not a great shot, but he's being aggressive. Three bench guys come in. DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, and Alexander Walker. Mike said Knicks have to play with authority tomorrow night. Look, your mentality's got to be, we got to win tomorrow in the Garden. And then all you have to do is win one in Indiana, and you send it back to the Garden for a Game 7, and you never know what happens in a Game 7. Has to be your mentality, right? Go win tomorrow's game in the Garden. Okay, Hazy said the dogs are in. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. The three bench guys. Minnesota's got a great bench. They played great in the previous game as J-Dub knocks down a floater in the lane. But it's an 8-point deficit here as the bench comes in. And Naz Reid almost throws it away. Randall able to recover it and then throws a terrible pass out to Alexander Walker and throws it out of bounds. JA3, what's up, Jay? 1 minute, 1 quarter, 1 game at a time. Absolutely. Love the mentality, Jay. I'm right there with you. SGA has it in the middle of the lane. Forces it inside the Dort. Gets it out to him. Caruso tries to knock it loose. Edwards jumps the passing lane. J-Dub's able to save it. Out to SGA. Crosses over. Naz Reid rips him out in the open court. And then Naz Reid dribbles it off his own foot as Caruso was hustling back on defense. Keith Modeste, what's up, Keith? Knicks tomorrow. They win in Indy. Anything in Game 7. That's what they were saying as you said it. As SGA gets to the basket for another layup. Yeah, the whole mentality, if you're a Knicks player right now, my mentality would be like, all right, we go into the Game 5, we win it in the Garden. You have to get one win in the Garden for your fan base, right? And so Game 5 has to be the one, obviously. It's an elimination game for you. And so you get Game 5, and then all you have to do is win one in Indy. As Naz Reid hit the floor again, brother, you got to get up, my man. They get it over to Alexander Walker, spins. He's got to chuck it up with the shot clock winding down. He can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball. DiVincenzo was fighting for it, but Lou Dort able to save it over to SGA. And SGA is going to bring it down, up top, dancing with it, down the lane, bump, floater, gets it to go. And it's 19-7. This might be an early night, y'all. This might be an early night. We might wrap it up early and prepare for tomorrow. JA3, Jay, you're in the top 3. I don't know what this leaderboard system came from, but y'all can see it. If you have the number 1 crown, I got to do something. Is there a way? YouTube, where I can pull the leaderboards out and put it up on screen or something? So I can show y'all? This is a little fun thing in the chat. Susan's killing y'all, by the way. Susan's number 1. Just as that, you're out of the top 3. Hey, Hazy's number 2. Naz Reid spins into a double team, gets it knocked out of his hands. Naz Reid's been terrible so far. Here comes SGA pushing it the other way. 3:30 to go. SGA is going to step back, being guarded by Reed. Crosses over to his right, kicks it out to Caruso. Caruso, left corner three, wide open. Can't get it to go. Randall with the rebound. He's bringing it down the other way. Randall over to Alexander Walker. Gets a step, gets the layup, blows the layup. Can't be doing that, man. Can't be doing that. And Alexander with a step back left wing three. This might be an early night, y'all. It might be an early night for us. Jay said we could all see it. I'm going to keep shouting it out, though. Keep shouting it out. Because Susan is killing y'all in the chat. I don't know about y'all, but I'm very competitive. If I saw that, I'd be very upset. We get a timeout here from Minnesota. Under 3 to go. And everything's coming up roses for OKC. Mike said, is Cat playing tomorrow night? CP, the franchise of Knicks Fan TV, said he's going to be good to go. And that man does not miss with his reporting. So everything he has said comes to fruition, right? He said last year and this offseason, hey, I'm hearing Towns is still in the mix. And I was like, CP, what are you talking? They're not going to get Towns. That's not going to happen. It's a pipe dream. That ain't happening. I don't even want Towns. That wouldn't be a smart move. And then they got Towns. Everything he says is true. Everything he says is going to happen. So if CP, the franchise, is saying Towns is going to play tomorrow, I don't know where he's going to be. He could be hobbling up and down the court. But if CP says he's playing, he's going to play, right? CP also said Tibbs is on thin ice. Now, I'm of the opinion and of the mindset that Tom Thibodeau would be the head coach going into next year. And he didn't say he was on the hot seat and he was going to be fired and the Knicks weren't happy with his coaching. He said he's on thin ice. What that means, I don't know. But I think the front office has two eyes the way we all have two eyes, and they are seeing what we're seeing, and it just ain't working with them. So hopefully, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. David said, I hope Knicks got OKC energy. Yeah, I hope it's more OKC energy and less Minnesota energy, Jay said, CP seems to be in the know. He for sure is. AP, what's up, AP? Tomorrow's game determines who wins the trade. Hey, man, if Minnesota lose today, AP, and the Knicks lose tomorrow, it's still a win-win. Both teams made it exactly the same distance, so we'll see how this game turns out, but it's not looking good for Minnesota to start. They're already down 15. Just as Dad said, no need to stream OKC champagne celebration here. Yeah, I'm going to give it some time. We'll see if Minnesota can sort of get on track here on the road in a daunting place to play in Oklahoma City, but we'll keep it locked in for a little bit. We'll see where we go with it. Just as Dad said, we won the trade hands down. I'd like to think so. For sure, especially with Randall's contract situation coming up. Minnesota's whole cap situation where they have to pay Alexander Walker, they have to pay Naj Reed. All of these guys are going to get a bag, including Randall. They're going to have to keep him because they traded. He was the main piece. I know they really like Dante DiVincenzo. Randall was the main piece in that trade. So unless they're looking to sign and trade him this offseason, he's going to be looking for a bag, man. He's going to be looking for a big old bag. Jay said AP is in. Oh, watch out, he may dethrone you. Yeah, AP be in the chat all the time. Just as Dad said, Randall has been terrible. I think everybody's kind of been terrible for Minnesota so far. I think Randall's been terrible. I think Reed's been terrible. I mean, McDaniels is 0 for 6. At least he's trying and playing hard, but he's missed 3 wide open threes. Edwards has taken 2 shots and a terrible pull-up 3. Taking 3 total shots. Got 2 of them, he got all the way to the basket, and then 1 he settled for a step-back 3. And apparently we have a technical here with SGA at the foul line. He knocks it down, adding insult to injury. AB said, I think Randall days in Detroit. Apparently, Randall did not like playing for the Knicks. He didn't like playing in New York. He didn't say he didn't like playing in New York. He said, and AP is number one. AP came in as number one all of a sudden. Look at that. Look at the leaderboard shift. Susan, what happened? Susan, you lost your number one spot. I kind of like this leaderboard stuff. I kind of like it. And Keith Modeste is number 3. This is fun. This is a fun thing in the chat. This is a fun little thing YouTube added. I wish I could pop it out. You know, we can pop out the chat there, but how do I show? It sucks. It sucks. AP said, what do you mean? YouTube added this thing, AP, where they put the rankings in chat, where if you chat more often, you get points, and they show you next to your name where you stand in the rankings. Right now, you're number 1, Susan's number 2, and Kay Hazy's number 3. 23-7. Edwards has it up top, dancing with it, coming over, step back, inside to Alexander Walker, high floater comes up short, and they can't get anything to go down, man. They can't get anything to go down. Just Dad said it's a mobile update or something. It's a YouTube-wide update, you know, because it's on my screen here too. I wish I could show it, but yeah, that's there. But top chat, live chat. If I click that, oh, there we go. There we go. 23-7. Let's wait until another dead ball. I'm gonna turn the TV on, and I'm gonna throw this up there, and maybe you guys can see it a little bit better. But AP's number 1. AP's number 1. Actually, you're all number 1 because you're all participating in the chat. Yeah, well, some people have more experience than others, so I don't know how it works. I don't know how this works. But AP is number 1. AP said, I won the championship. I dedicated to all of you. I think you all have 75, so I don't know how this works, but it's fun. It's fun. It says you earn points by sending live chat messages and sending super chats and super stickers. So that's how that works. But you all have 75. So you're all technically tied for 1. Technically. Wallace is going to drive it down. Oh, Minnesota scored. My bad. I didn't even notice. Dort, a high arcing 3, can't get it to go. Naj Reid with the rebound. 23-9. Edwards is going to dance with it, drive it down middle of the lane, kicks it out to DiVincenzo, up top to Reid. Reid will drive it down, kicks it out. Edwards wide open. There you go. Great ball movement. Edwards a wide open 3, and he can't get it to go, but a loose ball. Wallace ends up with it and throws it over to Alexander Walker. Ball's going to go back to the Thunder. And they are just out-competing, out-executing the Wolves right now. Keith Modeste said Malone for the next head coach? Absolutely not, brother. Absolutely not. Mike Malone is just another Tom Thibodeau. Aaron Wiggins tosses up an air ball. That's fun. That's fun. Minnesota has it up top with Edwards dancing with it against SGA, directing some traffic now, driving to his left, leans in, steps back, crosses over to his right, middle of the lane, kicks it out. Alexander Walker, a left wing 3. He couldn't miss the other night. Misses his first couple of shots here tonight. Hasn't hit one yet. They've got 9 points in this first quarter with 20 seconds to go, and that's it. They're going to score 9 points in the first quarter, guys. 1 for 3 from three-point range. SGA is going to dance with it, crosses over. They bring 2 out to Wallace. Wallace, a right corner 3 at the buzzer. He gets it to go in. Terrible double from Dante DiVincenzo. Terrible double. Came over at the last second to try and double SGA, but there was way too much time. Didn't get there fast enough. He thought he could get the steal. He didn't. Left Cason Wallace wide open. Feet set in the corner. Easiest three in the NBA. Wide open corner three. Splashed at the buzzer. Terrible help from Dante. It's 26-9. If this continues to be this bad, 17-point deficit, we're going to head it out early. Justice's dad said Tibbs is the minutes mafia boss. Yeah, he's pretty bad at it, man. He's pretty bad at it. Jay said, I would like a young offensive-minded coach. Enough. Can't say that word, brother. Can't say that word out loud like that. Come on, man. Yeah. I mean, I can tell you right now, I highly doubt that whenever the time comes when the Knicks front office do decide to move on from Tom Thibodeau, whether it's this offseason, next offseason, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, who knows? Whenever they do decide to move off of Tom Thibodeau, it will be for a younger coach. The coaching search will consist of names like Johnny Bryant, Sam Cassell. I'm sure Dan Hurley will get interviewed for the Knicks head coaching job. But, you know, all of this is a moot point until that decision is made and the coaching search begins. You don't fire Tom Thibodeau just to hire another Tom Thibodeau in Mike Malone. Mike Malone had very similar issues that Tom Thibodeau had when he was at Denver. Didn't play the young guys, overplayed his main rotation players, didn't experiment with players in his roster. Now Denver was a little more hamstrung with their roster than Tibbs is with his, but not the guy I think they're even looking for. Nor do I think Mike Malone would probably want the Knicks job. Right? Mike Malone and Tom Thibodeau, very close friends. Jay said I said retread. No. I thought I said a different word, my brother. I thought I said a different word. AP said, hopefully Jalen Brunson hasn't been lost his legs by that time. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like these guys are kind of in their prime. Your window is this season. Right? If you go through it, you got by Detroit, and in round 2 you play a Boston team that you stole 2 games from, and then Tatum gets hurt, and Porzingis wasn't fully healthy and all that, and you were able to take advantage of that, and you beat the Celtics. Something that a ton of people thought the Knicks weren't even capable of doing, whether Porzingis was healthy or not. And you beat the Celtics. And then you get to the conference finals for the first time in 25 years, and it's not even the Cavs, a 64-win dominant regular season Cavaliers team that you have to go up against. It's the sneaky underdog Indiana Pacers that eliminated the Cavs for you. And so now you go up against the Pacers and, like, this is your chance. And the Knicks didn't even put up that good of a fight. Right? If you go down in 5, it's going to be very disappointing. As we're into it now, and who is that? Caruso? Wallace with a layup? 28-9. It's a 19-point deficit, y'all. Just like that. Just that, it's all good. Coaches, young coaches are rare, but Tibbs is definitely a retread. He is a bald. He's a bald. Naj Reed has it up top against Caruso to the basket. Lefty layup gets it to go. AB said it has to be a colossal failure if Tom Thibodeau doesn't finish his contract. coaches' contracts don't really mean much in the sense that like there's no cap situation for it. All it is as Randall turns it over yet again, and Naj Reid fouls Caruso. All it is with hiring a coach and giving a coach, a long contract is like you have to pay them after you let them go. But I would suspect, and I told you guys this time, my opinion on that is that they would never fire Tom Thibodeau. He would just simply get the promotion into a front office role, some kind of front office role. Right? So, I'm sure that there would be some sort of contract buyout and then a renegotiation of a contract. Or maybe not even a contract buyout, but some sort of renegotiation of a contract as he moves into a different role in the front office. But there is no salary cap and what you can pay coaches. So James Dolan's got a big old bank account. If I were Leon Rose, I'd be like, don't sweat it, brother. There were years we were paying 3-4 head coaches because we would fire them all the time. Daniel Tosin, what's up, Daniel? Caruso knocked down both free throws. Randall has it on the left wing, kicks it out to DiVincenzo. Back to Randall. Extra pass. The rookie Shannon Jr. with the three, and he gets it to go. Hey, the rookie Shannon Jr., he's getting buckets. He's getting buckets. Caruso down the lane, misses a layup, but they call a late foul on Terrence Shannon Jr. He's going to go to the foul line with 2 free throws. He said, if you think about the moves this front office have made recently, the new coach would probably be very good. Yeah, it's interesting because when they made all those moves, I was very confused because the players they acquired aren't very Tom Thibodeau-esque players, right? Like even Mikal Bridges, who you would think is a Tom Thibodeau player because he's a good defender, or at least has had the reputation of being a good defender and whatnot, but he's not a Tom Thibodeau player because he's not like a dirty work player, and that's a Tom Thibodeau player, right? The Josh Harts, Deuce McBrides, like those are Tom Thibodeau-esque players. And when they assembled this roster in this offseason, particularly, it was like Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns. These are definitely not Tom Thibodeau guys. And you've seen Tom Thibodeau really struggle with trying to find how to use those guys. He's really not comfortable coaching these players who are a lot more finesse than I think he wants them to be. Randall turns it over again. Cason Wallace got his hand on the ball and knocked it loose. 32. My score slightly off. Only able to save it. Oops, my bad. I had to erase all of OKC's points just to give Minnesota a chance. Conley inside the Randall. Randall in the paint. 3 defenders. Goes up, gets blocked. He's forcing it, man. He was surrounded by 3 guys. Holmgren down the lane, leans in. And he throws it down with 2 hands. Jeez, man. 20-point deficit already. Yeah, we might have to call it an early night, y'all. And Naj Reid turns it over to J-Dub, and this is a foul and one for J-Dub. All right, we're going to call it at halftime, y'all. We're going to hang out till halftime. J-Dub's going to go to the foul line for one more free throw. This one's over. AP said, was this the worst team ever? No. With the names and players we had, I expect more, a lot more. We have never had a team in our lifetime with 2 All-Stars in their prime. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You even go back to the beloved '90s Knicks. Never had two perennial All Stars, let alone two guys who perennially make the All NBA team in their primes on the team at the same time. Tom Thibodeau absolutely mishandled this roster. You've heard me say it multiple times. I think this is the worst coaching season of Tom Thibodeau's career. He just had absolutely no feel for the strengths and weaknesses of this team, and throughout the year, never concocted one, an offense that fit this team, and two, a defense that made sense for this team to play. You know, constantly having Karl-Anthony Towns drop no matter what until the playoffs was bad coaching. Consistently not finding an ability to maximize the spacing that this roster can provide was bad coaching. Never trying the starting lineup with Towns and McBride, bad coaching. Playing Josh Hart 40 minutes a night, bad coaching. On this roster, with some of the depth you had at that position, bad coaching. It just felt like it was misstep after misstep after misstep all year, and it kind of leads you to a point. And look, they made it to the conference final. So how bad was his coaching actually? There were often times where it felt like the Knicks were succeeding in spite of some of their systems that were in place. And even when I mentioned all of that, the Knicks abandoned pretty much their core principles that they played throughout the regular season during the playoffs. They abandoned the drop defense and went immediately to switching when they had to. When like push came to shove and you have to play a really good team, they abandoned their core defense they played for 82 games. Abandoned it. They were like, nope, not doing that. And they went to a switching defense. And it's like, maybe if we practice that a little bit more, we'd be much more consistent in terms of communicating that type of defense. You know? When you have two bad defenders in Brunson and Towns, maybe utilizing and sneaking in a zone every now and again, doesn't have to be on every possession, but every now and again, throwing in a zone every here and there, might benefit a team that lacks that rim protector by not allowing interior drives, right? That's what a zone does. You beat a zone with passing. And the Knicks have excellent passing lane players in Anunoby and Bridges, and even Brunson to some degree. And yet, you never even thought of utilizing a zone. You know, because Tom Thibodeau's a dinosaur. And when he came up as a coach, the zone was literally not allowed in the NBA. So he would never play it because he wasn't allowed to. But, like, you look around teams with all these younger coaches, and zones are utilized all the time, not as, you know, as if you're Syracuse and your base defense is a zone, but as in, you know, for these next couple of possessions, while you have this lineup out there, we're going to counter that lineup with a zone. And we never go to it. Mike said Mason and Starks went to the All-Star game 1 year. Yeah, exactly, 1 year. 1 year. Towns and Brunson are perennial All-Stars. They're going to be there every year for the next 3 or 4 years, right? Should their health permit. Should they play enough games, obviously. Right? And they've been there every year the last couple of years. They're perennial All-Stars. They're there every year. You can pencil them into the All-Star game every year as Edwards hits the side of the backboard on a step-back three. Yeah, this one's over, y'all. And I had the timer ticking the whole time. It's fine. This game's over. We don't have to really keep track of it like that. I'll just keep track of the score. J-Dub down the lane, and he gets a layup to go. Oof, this is a beat down like any other. Not even close. Ernest Cash with the Burnest. Edwards down the lane, gets fouled. He's going to go to the foul line, 2 free throws. David said, get bottles on ice. KC's winning it. Hey, man, I'm going to turn this game off and enjoy the rest of my night. That's what I'm going to do at halftime. Jay said, I enjoy watching the Mike Francesco recap. He does a great job. this is where he always used to shine. I have seen it. It's come up in like my YouTube recommended whenever I go and watch podcasts about the game, and I've never clicked on it, and I should. I definitely should. I've been tempted a couple times to click on it. Edwards split the free throws, and then Holmgren hits a three. It's 41-15. This is embarrassing. It's a 26-point deficit. Edwards is going to put his head down, kicks it out, swing it over. Randall, right corner three. That ain't going in. No, it does go in. Hits the rim a couple times, and he gets it to go down. David said Edwards not ready for this. He's not. I mean, look, he's young, and he's the face of the franchise already at a young age. But you're seeing levels to this, man. He still has levels to go. J-Dub immediately gets those 3 points right back. He said they should have Ant bring the ball down like Giannis. He is bringing the ball down. He just doesn't really want anything to do with it right now. Edwards driving it down, and then every time he drives it down, the defense collapses. He's kicking it out to his shooters. Randall, another three. He can't get it to go. He just can't get anything to go down, man. Randall knocks the ball loose. Randall's going to go down the other end and get a layup. 24-point deficit. Conley got a block on Holmgren. Block from Conley. Maybe Minnesota can build some momentum here. Edwards down the lane, throws up a floater. Can't get it to go. He's looking for a foul call he doesn't get. Should definitely have been a foul, in my opinion. Michael Brown, what's up, Michael? Holmgren gets fouled by McDaniels. Timberwolves are going to Cancun tomorrow for vacation. Yeah. 1-2-3 Cancun for Minnesota here tonight because this game's going to be over by halftime. Nick Yak, what's up, Yak? We couldn't get a stop. It's too late now, but a 2-3 zone with 2 7-footers down low might just work. Yeah, it might, Yak, it might. You know, like it's difficult to discuss it, stuff like that, because we didn't try anything different all regular season. All regular season, we simply just played the drop. We didn't try hedging out in the regular season. Rarely did we do that. We definitely barely tried switching during the regular season. And then all of a sudden, when push came to shove and you had to win basketball games, guess what kind of defense we went to? A switching defense. A hedge and recover defense. And it's like, cool, man. I guess we're just throwing the regular season away, and we're trying stuff in the playoffs that we never tried before in basketball games. I guess that's what we're doing now. I guess that counts as good coaching now, Tibbs. I don't know what goes through the man's head. I don't know. Like you said, with the 2 7-footers, in particular, the reason why I say go to 2-3 zone, or at least try it, and it doesn't have to be a 2-3 zone, is the Thunder pick up another steal. Caruso comes, Kayson Wallace goes all the way for a layup. A 28-point deficit, man. Yeah, we're going to get to halftime. We got 6 minutes to go, and then we're going to head out. So if you got anything you want to say, let's talk about it. Shannon Jr. gets a layup to go. He's going to be a good player for them. They can count on his development, I guess. Wiggins is going to pump fake, drive it down, gets blocked. Holmgren picks it up, gets fouled by Conley. He's going to go to the foul line, 2 free throws. What if I just hit the timer there? We're just going to have it tick all the way down. See if we'll catch up. Susan said the NBA wants a 7-game series from the Knicks. I'm sure the NBA wants it. I'm just not sure the Knicks are going to be able to provide that with the way they played. Their mentality has to be, you win this game in New York, because you have to have some level of pride if you're the Knicks. You have to have some level of pride. You win this game in front of your fans. Your fans absolutely deserve to witness at least one win in the conference finals after they haven't been there in 26 years. They deserve to see one win out of their team. At least one, right? And so you pick up a Game 5 win in the Garden, and then your mindset should be, all we have to do is win one game in Indiana, force a Game 7 in New York, and anything could happen at that point, right? So it's one quarter, one game, and up until you get to Game 7, everything one step at a time. Got to be the mentality. Yak said, problem would be Celtics and Pacers built to be zone shooting threes and running before we set up. Yeah, but there are zones to counteract shooting. You could run a 1-3-1 zone. It doesn't have to be a 2-3. You could run a matchup zone. You could run man-to-man with mostly zone principles. Like there are different offensive sets that you can run, or defensive sets, excuse me, that you could run outside using mostly zone principles. It doesn't necessarily have to be zones that give up 3-point shots, right? With 2 7-footers, you could run a 2-3 zone, or not a 2-3. You could run a 3-2 zone, which deters 3-point shooting out on the perimeter and forces the ball inside with 2 7-footers down there with Mitch and Towns, and say, all right, well, we got the size advantage down low, and we're just going to trust our rim protection and force you guys into the mid-range and in towards the basket, and just trust our big men to protect the rim. As OKC forces another turnover, SGA all the way, kicks it out Caruso. Caruso left corner 3, can't get it to go. SGA with the offensive rebound, he can't get it to go. Edwards with the rebound. 51, I'll score slightly off, 51-24. Edwards a deep pull-up 3. Minnesota's just jacking up shots. They have no idea what they want to do. Jordan's going to fire a 3. AP said, hopefully our team has one last fight. I don't want these guys celebrating. But absolutely. Either win game 5, either lose game 6 or win in 7. Don't allow Indiana to celebrate on the Garden floor. McDaniels hit a 3. And the score is still slightly off. They knocked down a 2 before that. So it's 51-27. 24-point deficit. Justice's dad said the sports books are beatable if you shop around and see where they make a mistake and can control the VIG, basically. Pretty much. That's a lot of work. I'm watching sports for fun. Shannon Jr. fouls Caruso, fighting for a loose ball. We're just waiting till this game gets to halftime, because then we're heading out early. I'm not sticking around to watch this nonsense. Yak said, hope it's not as panicking like the Wolves are. No, I think the Knicks, this Wolves team has an erratic star in Randall and a really young star in Edwards. The Knicks guys are mostly in their primes, and they should be able to, I don't see them getting blown out at all at any point against this Pacers team, but, with Towns hampered with the knee thing, who knows? Jay said we need our rest for tomorrow anyway. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to call it a night early. We're going to get our rest. We're going to bring the energy tomorrow because Lord knows our team needs it. Caruso knocks down both of his free throws. And again, my scoreboard's slightly off. Why am I missing so many scores? 55-27. 28-point game. Alexander Walker throws it to nobody. J-Dub up top. Gets it over to SGA. Got 3 minutes to go, y'all. We got 3 minutes to go. SGA a 3 comes up well short. Edwards with the rebound. Comes Alexander Walker. Going to put his head down, go all the way to the basket. Gets blocked by Caruso. Gobert can't hold on to the loose ball. Here comes SGA. Gobert has played so soft down low. Edwards with the chase down block on SGA and then throws it away to Caruso. DiVincenzo bad pass. SGA draws the foul. He's going to the foul line for 2 free throws. David said, I would put Mitch back on the bench and start Josh and go for it. Makes no difference. I mean, Tom Thibodeau completely butchered the positives of starting Mitchell Robinson by making Josh Hart the first substitution off the bench for Karl-Anthony Towns. Like, that's not why you start Robinson, so you can bring in Josh Hart to play alongside Mitchell Robinson in the first quarter. Not why you do it. It's absolutely not why you do it. It also took away one of the best things the Knicks had going for them, which was Mitchell Robinson against bench bigs. Now we don't get that ever. Just as Dad said, who is your least hated OKCer? I would say favorite, but good point. My least hated, I loved Caruso until he went to the Thunder. Now I hate him because how dare Chicago trade him to the Thunder? How dare they do that? Least hated Thunder player. Aaron Wiggins? I do love me some Aaron Wiggins. Who's the rookie they have on the bench who didn't play this year? You know I love me some rookies. Is he listed here? I love me some Isaiah Joe. Who's the rookie on OKC who didn't play this year? Nikola something. It's another Nikola. The league is going to be run by Jalen's and Nikolas. Jalen is going to pass it to Jalen, who dumps it down low to Nikola, who kicks it back out to Jalen, who swings it over to Nikola. That's what the league is going to end up being. Thunder. Nikola. Ooh, what's his name? Topic. Nikola Topic. Just Dad said, I like Nikola. I like Nikola. I like Caruso as a Bull too. Laker too. Yeah, I always liked Caruso. He was a wish list to end up as a Knick for me. And I know for a fact that the Knicks kicked the tires on trading for Caruso, but the Bulls don't want picks. They want young players because they're terrible GMs. And so they took OKC's offer of Josh Giddey and 0 picks because they're terrible GMs over there. They don't know what they're doing. Just Dad said, who's your favorite Wolf? Or Wolves? Timberwolves. If it's the Wolves, is the plural of it Wolves or is it Wolves? And why is it Shannon Jr.? Still might be DiVincenzo. It still might be Devo. Love me some DiVincenzo. My chair's so broken I have to lay on the side of it like this, so I don't break it, so I don't completely break the back of it and fall out. Jay said, like Reeves, he could be had in the offseason. The Knicks don't have anything to offer for Austin Reeves, Mitchell Robinson, but he doesn't solve any of your issues. As a matter of fact, he adds to your issue. Austin Reeves is a terrible defender. So you're going to start Jalen Brunson, Austin Reeves, and Karl Anthony Towns? Terrible idea. Bring Austin Reeves off the bench so he could continue to not guard people? It'd be a terrible fit on this team. Great player. Terrible fit on this Knicks team. Edwards has it up top. We got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. AB said, imagine you live in Seattle and you have to watch this. It's so sad. It's 57-27, by the way. It's a 30-point deficit. SGA, a mid-range jumper, comes up short. Fight for the loose ball. Caruso ends up with it. Dort's going to fire 3. He can't get it to go down. This is sad. This is sad to watch. This is sad to watch. Just Dad said Jang a rookie. Ousmane Jang? I believe this is his second season. Jay said off the bench. I mean, look, he'd produce. He'd average 18-ish points off the bench for the Knicks. The problem is he can't defend anybody, and he'd be playing 30 minutes a night. You know, so you'd have lineups out there that are running Brunson, Reeves, and Towns, and it's like that's awful. That's a terrible lineup. 3 guys who are bad defenders. You're getting cooked. You're getting cooked. J-Dub, a pull-up 3. He can't get it to go. DiVincenzo with the rebound. Devo's not going to fire the 3. Just got to shoot that 3, Devo. Got to shoot that 3. He show a double. Gets it out to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo back to Edwards. He's going to look to cook. Pull-up 3 over 2 defenders. Can't get it to go. The Wolves have no answer for this defense, man. No answer. Just Dad said Seattle had their time. Yeah, but it was sad that they promised not to move the team when they sold it, and then after the deal was complete, they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna move this team." Like that sucks for that fan base, man. I feel bad for that fan base. Just as Dad said, they may not get 30 by half. They may not, man. They may not. They had 9 points in the first quarter. They have 18 so far here. Jay said, then we need a guy who can really hit threes with instant scoring and plays defense. Any ideas? Good question, Jay. Good question. It's a really good question. I think we've done this before, but let me look up again. Free agent, NBA free agents. Yeah, we have done this before. This is an ESPN ranking. We got a minute to go. We don't care about this game. I'm just gonna tune it out. Oh, OKC did hit a 3. They got 30, y'all. They got 30. And then another jumper. Another jumper. So it's 61. What's this? NBA rankings of free agents. All right, this is an ESPN one, and ESPN's rankings kind of shuck. We'll try it out. Let me move my face over here. Cool. LeBron the free agent, Harden the free agent, Kyrie's a free agent, Reynolds free agent. Nobody that matters for the Knicks. 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 Keon Ellis. There's our guy, Keon Ellis. If there's anybody we want, it's Keon Ellis. Will we be able to get? He's got a team option, so he might not even be available. They're probably going to pick up that team option. Dorian Finney-Smith is a player. Brook Lopez is old. Chris Paul. There's some rumors about bringing over Chris Paul. Big Al Horford's old. Ty Jerome, he's probably going to stay in Cleveland. They'll offer him some money. He can't play any defense anyway. He got cooked in the playoffs. Played terribly. Beasley, same thing. Naj Reid is available, but he's got a player option. We'll see where he goes. Karis LeVert. Knicks interested in Karis LeVert, y'all? That's we did this already. Yeah, we did do this already. But I'm just like, who am I forgetting? There any? Because I can't. Jay asked me who would be available that fits the role of being able to knock down a 3 and can play some defense. Gary Trent Jr. He's a guy you go after. Maybe Karis LeVert, but he's kind of erratic. I don't know if they really want him. Santi Aldama is one of my favorite guys, but he's restricted. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is available. He'll likely stay in Minnesota, but maybe you just hit him up and go after him and see what it'll take. It's not like the Knicks have a ton of money to offer anyway. Dennis Schroeder. Not bad. That's all who they have listed. Just that said Giannis is going to Canada? Why would he go to Toronto? Quentin Grimes, he's not coming back, brother. Not coming back. And I don't think Philly could afford to let him go. I think Philly very much is going to do what they have to do to keep him. It is 32-65 is going to be the halftime score. So it's 32-65, a 33-point beatdown, man. Oh, man. Jay said Dennis Schroeder, I could see him. I could see it too. I can see a Dennis Schroeder thing. The issue is you have Kolek, you have Deuce McBride, so unless you're looking to package like a Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson and really looking to upgrade the bench by packaging your two best bench players to get a better fitting bench player, but I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. We'll see. We'll see what they decide to do. I think what this front office is going to rely on this offseason is internal growth from their rookies. Right? I think they're gonna hope that one of Gaudier or McCullough will pop and be real rotation players next year. I think the hope is that campaign can take that Tyler Kolek can take the campaign minutes. I think they'll take a look at Huck Porty's development, and that could make Mitchell Robinson available next season. He'll be on the trading block again come trade season, right? And they'll probably look to see what's available for him yet again, because he is a bit of a unreliable guy. But when he's healthy, you can see the impact he makes, right? Just as Dad said, the Knicks will be running a 3-man weave and conditioning all summer. Comeback beast. I don't think it's conditioning, man. Like they're very well conditioned. One of the best conditioned teams in the NBA. There's only so much you could do. There's only so much you could do against a team that plays extremely fast and subs guys in and out. You know, like the only way to play that pace is by doing what Carlisle does, by getting guys in and out of the lineup constantly and playing them in shorter bursts. Tom Thibodeau doesn't seem to understand that. Kay Hazy said, Ant is the best player on the team. If he's not scoring, OKC has no reason to focus on him, and the whole team suffers as a result. Well, all they're doing is focusing on Anthony Edwards, Kay Hazy. Every time he touches the ball, there's 2 or 3 defenders in front of him. The issue is how good in the passing lanes this entire Oklahoma City team is. And so Edwards is looking for a passing lane. He can't figure it out. He can't figure out how to beat this double team. Right? And Minnesota's not doing him any favors by not really putting him in positions to be successful, but this is a very dominant OKC defense. David said Bridges on the way out. Bridges isn't going anywhere, my man. Bridges isn't going anywhere. I'd be very surprised. David Osh Jr. said McCullough is key next year. Yeah, McCullough is going to be very key. I would believe that the hope is that he can take a lot of the burden off of Josh Hart, so Josh Hart doesn't have to be a 35 to 40 minute per game guy, even though I don't think that he should be a 35 to 40 minute per game guy now, but you know. He said Mitch will be worth even more now that he hits his free throws. I think everybody knows who Mitchell Robinson is. I think the reason why his value isn't very high is because of the injury history. You know, can't rely on it. You really can't rely on it. Just as Dad said, Bridges trades would have made the Giannis deal interesting. Milwaukee doesn't want picks. Milwaukee does not own their own pick, so they can't trade Giannis for a bunch of picks. They have to trade Giannis for young players. You have to trade Giannis for young players. Milwaukee doesn't own any of their own picks, so they can't be bad. They can't be one of the worst teams in the league because they'd be sending the possibility of a first overall pick to another team. So they have to trade Giannis for young players. And the Knicks don't have any of those. They didn't have any of them when they traded for Bridges. Bridges trade has little to no impact on whether the Knicks were going to be capable of getting Giannis or not. The only way Giannis ends up a Knick is if he publicly comes out and says, I only want to be traded to the Knicks. Then a trade becomes feasible. But unless that happens, there's no possible way that Milwaukee agrees to any deal that the Knicks can put together. No possible way. Just Dad said would have made it interesting though. I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have. I mean, it would have made it interesting for us to talk about because then we just throw them all the picks. But they don't want picks. They want picks, but not just picks. They need young players so that they're not the worst team in the league next year. If you take Giannis off that team, they are the worst team in the league next year, especially without Dame. Susan said good night. Yeah, I'm heading out too soon, Susan. This is we're not going to stick around for this one. This one's over. David said I could see Giannis saying Knicks. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's for sure possible. He's not so subtly hinted at his love for New York, right? So it's possible he goes to Milwaukee and they have a conversation about him moving on from being there, and they say, all right, you've brought us a championship. We're going to do you a favor. Where do you want to go? And he says, I want to go to the Knicks and only the Knicks. They say, okay, we'll make it work. Whatever deal we can do, we'll get the best deal possible from the Knicks, and we'll send you to the Knicks. It's possible, but a lot would have to go that route. It would have to go that route, right? Because he could say New York, and they could say, does it have to be the Knicks? Can it be the Nets? And he could say, it could be the Nets. I just want to be in New York. And then, Brooklyn could put together a much more enticing deal than the Knicks can. Yak said the Lakers would be a perfect spot for Mitch, but don't want to lose watching him play. Yeah, I mean, a healthy Mitchell Robinson would be perfect for them as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of centers would be perfect for them. Mark Williams, guy they vetoed the trade for, would be perfect. David said, who's the B star? If Giannis comes, him or JB? JB. Giannis is one of the 2 or 3 best players in the NBA. There is a clear delineation of best players in the NBA. It's the top 3. Jokic is number 1. I'll put SGA number 2 because he just won the MVP. And then it's Giannis. And then there's a clear delineation of every other player. Everybody else is below those 3 guys. They're in a tier of their own. He said Giannis for Cat. Sure. Why would Milwaukee want to do that though? They want a 28, 29-year-old center who has an injury history. That's not the young player they want, man. Not the young player they want. Just that said JV is the captain until he retires. Oh, he'll be the captain. He'll be the captain, but he won't be the best player on the team. R said, who's on the Nets that Milwaukee wants? Literally every single young player that they have and all their picks. Not that they would necessarily want anybody, but it would be a better package than the Knicks, was my point. Right? If he says, get me to New York, it could be the Knicks or the Nets. They would definitely take the Nets deal over the Knicks deal. Because they would get all the young players they have. They would get Cam Thomas. They would get Nick Claxton. They would get Jalen Wilson. They would get all the young players that they have and all their picks, which is a lot of picks. They would send them Giannis. I said Cat is 31, isn't he? No, I think he's still in his late 20s. No, nobody. The only 30-year-old player on the Knicks in the Knicks rotation is Josh Hart. Josh Hart's 30. Anthony Towns is not 31, my man. But I'll tell you exactly how old he is right now. We go to Karl Anthony Towns' page. He is 29. So he's about to be 30. Birthday is November 15th, so he'll be 29 in the middle of next season. Justice Dad said KD over VW next year. Is VW Victor Wembanyama, brother? Because Kevin Durant hasn't been better than Victor Wembanyama since the day Victor Wembanyama stepped into the NBA. Cat is 29, y'all. Cat is 29. He'll be 30. It's semantical. He's about 30. He'll be 30 next season, in the middle of the next year. Jay's checking out. Appreciate you, Jay. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm about to check out as well. Just that 65 to 32 is embarrassing, though. It is. I said this silly. Milwaukee doesn't want any player, neither New York or Brooklyn. They want Amen Thompson or Cade Cunningham. Well, they're not getting Amen Thompson. They're not getting Cade Cunningham. So they will get young players and picks, right? Especially if they want to do Giannis a favor, But that scenario only occurs if Giannis says New York or nowhere, is my point. That scenario only occurs if he says New York or nowhere. And that's also discounting, the fact that they could do a 3-team trade in which a young star ends up in Milwaukee. But that's too complicated. Not even going to think about it, right? Not even going to apply brain power for that. His dad said, really, KD was top 3 for 12 years. Victor Wembanyama not top 40 yet. Victor Wembanyama may be top 5 next season, brother. What are you talking about? Have you seen that man play basketball? He may be, he's going to be in the MVP conversation next year. If it wasn't for for him having to sit out the end of the year with the blood clot situation, the Spurs probably end up in the play-in game. And maybe they make the playoffs, maybe they don't, who knows, but Victor Wembanyama is going to be a top 7 at worst player next year. And KD is barely top 15, even if that anymore. Just that's an impossible comparison, but KD will go to a contender, and Victor Wembanyama will tag again. No, the Spurs are going to be good. Von Castle another year. They have the second pick. They're going to get a good player, whether they just draft or trade that for a good player. The Spurs were a borderline playing team this year, and they're going to be even better next year with a healthy Wembanyama, a better Wembanyama, a better Stephon Castle, a young rookie, the veterans that they have around them. Yeah, they're going to be good, brother. They're going to be good. A better Devin Vassell. Spurs are going to be good next year. And Kevin Durant sucks. I've done this rant before. Kevin Durant sucks. You were talking about Victor Wembanyama's team is going to tank again. Weren't the Spurs and the Suns like in the same spot once the playoffs started? Neither of them made the play-in. Kevin Durant sucks. He sucks. Awesome career. Won an MVP. It was almost a decade ago at this point. No, it was over a decade ago. He was a 2012 MVP. That guy sucks. Get KD out of here. I said I think Milwaukee will be okay getting the number 2 pick this year, Dylan Harper. We'll see. By all accounts, they're very comfortable just taking Harper, but we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do to it. Someone may offer him a big old deal for it. Someone may offer a big old deal for Dylan Harper. Just that's, and I'm going to dig into the stats, and you will be surprised. You don't have to dig into the stats, brother. I got 2 eyes. I don't need stats. I got 2 eyes. I watched Victor Wembanyama play this year. I watched Kevin Durant play this year. Kevin Durant's moving like a 37-year-old grandma out there. Just shooting jump shot at the jump shot. He can't attack the basket no more. And he's an awesome jump shooter, and he's about 7 feet tall. So he's going to get that thing off, and he's going to splash a couple of jump shots. He ain't no Victor Wembanyama, I'll tell you that. Victor Wembanyama is going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. And his team is going to make the play-in while Kevin Durant was sitting with his toes in the sand in Cancun. Because he's old, and he sucks. Get him out of here. KD is irrelevant in the NBA now. Every team he goes to is miserable and is sad. Right? In Golden State, literally the best team goes to a dynasty, and then all of a sudden that team is miserable and sad, and he leaves. Goes to Brooklyn. Completely destroys the culture that Kenny Atkinson built, gets him fired, and that team becomes miserable and sad, and then forces a trade off that team. Goes to Phoenix after Phoenix had made a finals run, and then immediately that team can't even make the playoffs anymore, and now all of a sudden everybody's miserable and sad again. KD sucks. KD sucks, dude. Get him out of here. All he wants to do is get to that mid-range jumper. He's going to put up stats and do no winning. Just, Dad, don't put no stats in the chat, brother. You got 2 eyes. And the stats favor Wemby anyway. I don't know what the argument is. KD sucks. Right? He was awesome back in the day when he was with OKC. Ever since he left OKC, never liked watching him play basketball ever again. And I don't even know if anybody's ever enjoyed playing basketball with him since then. But you got me ranting on Kevin Durant again. I hate ranting about Kevin Durant. He sucks. Yak said $55 million for KD will be a disaster for whoever gets him. Yeah, it was a disaster for Brooklyn. It was a disaster for Phoenix. And it'll be a disaster for whichever other team he goes to. Hope he ends up in like Utah or something. Well, that's going to be it. Chi-Chi, what's up, Chi-Chi? Chi-Chi, we're about to head out, brother, but I appreciate you, my man. Said you guys got to chill. Talking about trading Cat. Top 5 superstar is not working out because JB is too ball dominant. Unless he becomes a true PG, Giannis won't work either. Keep it as it is. The issue is not Brunson. The issue is the head coach and the offensive system, my man. Does Brunson need to be better about getting the ball to Cat? Yeah, but it looks like Karl Anthony Towns is playing with one leg out there. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. Hopefully the Knicks pull it out. Just that said Utah would be perfect. Yes, send them to basketball Siberia. That team sucks. Perfect place for KD. Perfect fit. Just the team, a city, and a franchise that's awful for a player that's awful. Perfect fit. Perfect match. But that's it, y'all. We're gonna see tomorrow. We're gonna come out. We're gonna win, and then it'll be one more win in Indiana before we close them out in 7. That's gonna be the goal. So until next time, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Unfortunately, this game sucked tonight. So if I go back to it, yeah, they're into it. They're into the second half, and it's 67-32, and the Thunder are bringing it down. They're already over a minute in. This game sucks. SGA gets the layup to go. It is 69-32, a 37-point beatdown. This is embarrassing for Minnesota. I'm going to head out, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Get a good night's sleep. Be ready for tomorrow, man. Brush your teeth before bed. Stay hydrated. And I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out, y'all. Bye.